people, good evening and welcome to the premiere of My Father's Shadow, a movie that touches individual memories about what their father is like and what the memory is like. Hello people, good evening and welcome to the premiere of My Father's Shadow, a movie that touches your childhood trauma, that touches the kind of relation that you have with your father. Well, tonight I have here with me the stars of the show. Hello, how are you doing? Tell us, what's your name?
Egbo Marvelous.
What's your name?
Egbo Godwin.
Oh, you guys are brothers. Ooh. How does it feel like working with your brother on a movie that you're featuring in for the first time?
It was fun because as we are brothers, we can easily talk to each other, tell each other not do this, don't do that, and it was really fun for us.
That's very good. Now, who is the most stubborn person among the two of you? It's you.
Yeah.
I can't tell because that's not how you acted. That we're like, mind your business, it's not your own. Anyway, what's the fun thing about working on this project for you?
Yeah, it's fun because the camera, the crew, they touch us a lot because it's actually my first time acting a movie. So they brought acting coaches to teach us more about acting.
So, who was your favorite actor on set, and how were you able to manage your lines, being the first time that you're acting?
My favorite actor on set should be Shokpa Durisu.
Okay.
Then my second favorite person on set should be Akinola Davis. And we managed our script through. We had someone that was teaching us our script.
Okay.
We had acting tutors who taught us, Mrs. Evelyn, Mr. Toby Clark, Mr. Andy. They really taught us a lot on set, both on set and both backstage. They really taught us a lot.
Nice. What is that one challenge that you found while shooting this project?
The one challenge I found is actually waking up every day. It's actually tiring every day.
It was a challenge for you. That is very good. Now, finally, if you could take a step back into the movie, what's that one that you think that you'd want to do differently?
Like the whale scene, I thought maybe we can make it look more realistic, like give more effects to it.
That's very good. Now, what message do you have for the organizers of this particular project?
Say again.
What message do you have for the organizers of the particular project? This My Father's Shadow. What message do you have for the people behind it, the brains behind it?
Yeah, well, for me, I actually want them to know more about our history. Even though we were not born in the 1960s, they to learn more about the 1960s.
So I think you didn't get my question. I would say that, do you have any thank you message, optional message for the people that brought you onto this project?
I actually want to say thank you because for encouraging me. That Akinola Davis is a scene that is very hard for me. It made me, like repeat, so that it just let me be myself.
That's very good. Thank you so much and have an amazing evening. Thank you. Tonight I have with me Wale Davis, the senior. He's a senior brother. It's an honor to have you. How are you doing, sir?
It's great to be here. Thank you very much.
So, as they say, My Father's Shadow has come home. How does that make you feel?
I feel for me it's very important. I think this film has done a lot of things abroad, but it's actually most important for me to have Nigerians see the film, to have Nigerians relate with the film, to see themselves inside the film. And, it will be a failure if people watch and say, we don't recognize these characters.
Yes,
but for us, it's a Lagos, it's a time that we all recognize. And I'm hopeful that the response as the turnout has been today will be amazing as well.
It sure will be amazing. We love good things and we love a story that touches our roots. Yes. So most definitely it's going to be. Now, as a co-writer to this story, and because it's also a very personal one for you, how would you say able to manage the emotion depth of it, and to make sure that it doesn't lose the essence of the story itself?
I think it was very tough. I think I'm not really used to being emotional, sharing emotions with people. And so for me it was challenging for me. I'm usually in the music world, and in the music world, you can also, hide behind trying to be a cool guy or trying to a filter, I'll call it. But in this place, writing something so vulnerable and so emotional, it almost feels like there's no hiding place. It almost feels like people are seeing you fully, but at the same time, I feel like that's where some of the best work is created, in that vulnerable space, So I'm learning to embrace it. I'm learning to enjoy it as well. And I hope people will also connect with it and also enjoy it too.
Yeah, that is very good. Now, the movie dated back all the way down to 1993. I mean, that is way back. Now, would you say, or rather, at what point did you impute that part of it into the story, or it's a part of the story that has been there from the onset?
I think me and my brother, we both remember what things were like in 93. That's true that we're born in the game. Yeah, we both remember what things were like in 1993, and as we were recalling the story, it only made sense because of the age the boys were in the film was also the same age we were in 1993, and that was the age we were situating the film in. So it only made sense to be able to put that in the movie, and also then like talk beyond the idea of fatherhood, but also talk about the idea of nationhood and how a nation is almost meant to be a father to its citizens. Yes. So we're exploring that nationhood and fatherhood at the same time.
That is very good. Now, to just put it simply and plainly, what emotions, not just when it comes to the story, but what laughter, what memory do you hope that people get to take out of this story when they eventually watch it?
I think people are going to laugh, people are going to cry, people are going to smile, people are going to be happy, people are going to be sad in parts. I feel people are going to be intrigued as well by the film. And if we're able to touch all those marks, yes, I think we've done a great job. Yeah, we've done a great job.
Thank you so much. And we can't wait to enjoy this story.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Producer of this movie, Fumbi Ogunbawo. Hello, how are you doing, ma'am?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
I need to put out there again that she looks super gorgeous. I mean, I hope camera can tell how much the beauty is shining. So we're here for a masterpiece that you were a part of, an history created. I mean, so first, when you saw the storyline and you saw the title, what about the resonates with you that make you I want to be a part of this?
So I mean, the film was written by my business partner Wale Davis and my other business partner Akinola Davis. They both wrote the film and Akinola Davis directed the film. And so I think, from just our working relationship, I admire the way that they tell stories. I admire the perspective that they have to storytelling, and I gravitate towards it a lot. So when we were talking about like my father's shadow, I think it was almost natural that in reading the script, I loved how I saw the streets that I know in Lagos, the languages, the people, the bars, like everything was just so well described and articulated that I was just like, this is a story that needs to be told and deserves a place in the world. And at Fatherland, what we really do is we take stories that are, Nigerian and like from the rest of Africa, and we believe that they have a place in the global market. So it's really a local to global strategy for us. And our work is really in service to the redefinition of the African narrative. That's what we do. So yeah.
That is very, very in-depth. And I'm glad that there's somebody out there that thinks or that have the vision that every African story needs to be told in a special way. Yeah. That's why you have. That's very good. Now, what financial challenges would you say that you're able to face and deal with when it comes to, like it has to be like an original Lagos story for it to be authentic, and then you have to work with kids, and then you have to be dated back all the way to 1993.
Yes.
So what are those challenges you're able to deal with, and how were you able to overcome them?
I mean, the filmmaking is a really arduous process to begin with, but I think it's especially challenging in a country like Nigeria because of like the lack of infrastructure. Nigeria, like doing anything in Nigeria is not without its own difficulties. However, when you have great minds and really well-versed and knowledgeable collaborators, I think what truly ends up happening is, people pull from their strengths, and that strength makes a collective even stronger. So that's literally what happened with the film, So I think, the dating it back to the 90s was extremely hard. Also because Lagos is also such a gentrified place right now. So we had to shoot in Ibadan. And when we shot in Ibadan, we had to make up some things, but also like Nigeria gives you what it is already. So everywhere you point your camera to in the country is cinematic. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so I think for us, like it was just truly, it was a mix of like relying on each other's strength, relying on partner strength, taking what already exists in the land and making it our own.
That's very good. Now, finally, when it comes to the distribution of this particular project, I can see that you have a very big mind frame for it. And then how were you able to decide on the distribution coming to the international system, and also working with Mubi? Yes. How were you able to decide on that?
So, I mean, Mubi really formed part of like our financing. will be really fun part of our financing plan, and they really have been supportive of the film from inception, from reading the script. They've loved it, absolutely loved it. Same thing too with our co-producing partners, Element Pictures as well, who really just like fostered this entire process for us, and it's through them we were able to facilitate getting our international sales agents and distribution internationally. Yeah,
that's good. Thank you so much for having me. An iconic act, an iconic man. The man with the voice of an angel. Yes, maybe like an angel Gabriel or an angel Michael. Is Dari at Alade. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. It's an honor to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
I cannot wait for the December dirty December to eat us big time.
Dirty December. Yeah.
Yeah, that is very good. Now tonight we're here celebrating My Father's Shadow. Judging by the title of this particular movie, what memory would you say this brings up for you when you think about your daddy?
You just asking that is me remembering my dad sat at the piano with me, and I was asking him, I think I had music homework from secondary school, and I was asking him what was this and what was that, and yeah.
That is very good. Now this movie is dated all the way back to the year 1993. What's that one unique memory?
We are all looking like, yeah.
What's that one unique memory that you think that stuck with you all the way back then? I mean, I was just a baby then. But I mean, you're grown, so what's that 93? One memory that I had? Yes.
93, I was running around my neighborhood with no shoes, like proper no shoes. So whether something caught my leg, or doesn't matter. What else? I would play basketball with no lights on the court. I'd use the moonlight and use that to. What else? It was just fun growing up.
Such beautiful memories.
Fetching water. Yeah. Watering the plants, sweeping.
To be shouting, Dari, are you?
Are you sure you were not there?
I was still a baby.
Because the way you are calling me.
My bad. Now this movie, what is expectation for it? And then what was the first thing, or what was the first feel that you had when you heard about the story?
I mean, the fact that it's growing wings and it's getting into rooms and spaces that hitherto we never could get to is something that's already a thing of pride, and yeah, there you go. It's kudos really. It shows that our storytelling is improving, is getting better and stronger, and that's why we're here.
That is right. Now finally, what is that one thing that we should be looking out for in the Dirty December that is about to eat us hard?
Mm-hmm. Well, what can I say? What can I say without saying much?
Just
when the party hasn't started, if live sport hasn't.
No problem. We're all tied up. We're ready for the fun.
We'll see you there.
Yes, we'll be there. Thank you, and have an amazing one.
In a very rich, beautiful tradition of filmmakers in Nigeria, and we're just hopeful to put our own little ingredients on the table as well. We're grateful to all our friends, community, different people who have come out to show support today. I hope you enjoyed the film. It's a film made in Nigeria, made by Nigerians with great international support. And for us, for me, all those things we've been doing and places the film has been shown, for me, this is actually the most important thing for me, to have the Nigerian audience see the film. So thank you so much, Ambassador, for me.
I don't really have much to say. Except that I'm really thankful. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Shout out. I think really this film brought a lot of people together. It brought nations together. It brought people across continents together, and that's the power of filmmaking. And I hope that's what you all experience on the screen, and that it brings you together to the people around you and even to the world at large as well. So yeah, thank you.
I'm just absolutely thrilled to be here. I'm really excited. It's a massive cinema screen. That is huge. I just feel really proud of what we've achieved and incredibly honoured to be working with such creative people who I actually now call family. I love you all very much, and thanks for having me.
I want to give a very special shout out to our sponsors, Pernod Ricard, as well as Glenlivet. Thank you so much for making tonight also possible. Ladies and gentlemen, a massive round of applause. We're about to start watching My Father's Shadow. Officially, My Father's Shadow is out in cinemas this weekend. I would especially like to thank a few extra distinguished guests, the Honourable Minister of Arts, Culture, Tourism and the Creative Economy of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Honourable Minister Hannatu Musawa is here. Please, a round of applause for her. Thank you. We also have the Honourable Commissioner of Arts, Culture and Tourism for Lagos State, Honourable Commissioner Toke Benson Awinka. Thank you so much for joining us. And we'd also like to welcome the Country Director, the British Deputy High Commission, Mark Smithson. Thank you so much for being here. Oh my goodness, this was moving. Very quick Q&A. I'm going to ask here. Congratulations, everybody. Congratulations. But very quickly, I can definitely speak for myself, and I hope I'm speaking a little bit for everyone else when I say that this film felt very personal. It felt very moving. It felt very emotional, and the score was phenomenal. So I really would love for you to talk a little bit about that process of how you use the sound and the score, the sound design, to draw us even closer into this very intimate body of work.
Well, first of all, thank you. Can I please get a round of applause for the cast and crew? And the two stars of our film, Godwin and Marvelous. I just take there. I mean, it's been a long and arduous process, but really felt held and supported by our cast and crew, our producers, Rachel and Fumbi, really sort of marshaled, and this guy here, Ade, #1 general. But yeah, in terms of sound, we worked with an amazing sound designer called CJ Mira, who worked on Lizard. Someone who I have developed quite a strong relationship with in terms of trying to figure out how to maximize the sound in the film. We also work with an amazing Sierra Leonean English composer called Duval Timothy, who, he's just an incredible talent. We spoke a lot about wanting to try and simulate the music being played by children. We also try to simulate an instrument that goes out of tune at times, that can feel quite sort of joyful, and at the same time can like peter out into something that feels a bit sad. I think the analogy I used was like rotten fruit. Like one side looks good and the other side is quite rotten. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of hits and hope, to be honest. I can't say like, we knew exactly what we were gonna achieve, but I think at the end of the day, everyone gave their all. Everyone standing here, everyone in the pre-post, during production gave their all. I can safely say that, thanks to our safety drills before every day. and that's the consequence of what you see on the screen, I would say.
Thank you. Phenomenal. Now, the other thing that I'm sure the audience would have noticed is there was a lot of texture in this film. Lagos was a real character. There was a lot of detail that was pulling through, and for a number of people who were present in 1993, there were a lot of things that felt very familiar. But filming in Lagos is not beans. So the question is for our producers. How were you able to achieve what we've seen in here in terms of texture, and what was sort of the toughest day for you guys on set? I want to know. Please talk to us.
So first of all, I mean, I don't even know where to start with the toughest day, because I think truly filmmaking in Nigeria is really complex. It's very layered, and the people that you're making the film with matter a lot. And as Akin said, we had really fantastic people, like every single person here and more that couldn't be here gave their absolute all. But we had some real challenges, Rachel. We had some real challenges. We had days where we were pulling our hairs out and our teeth and everything. And I mean, one day that really comes to mind is the scene with the Third Mainland Bridge. Oh God. Because that particular scene was challenging because the bridge had been closed the entire time that we were filming, and we were hoping and praying that it would open up, and literally a few days to our shoot day it did, but it meant that we couldn't have full closure of the road, and so we couldn't have full control, so we literally had to mobilize like a lean team with the camera and the director, and these guys, Ash and Ade, oh my God, literally, there were actual cars moving beside us as we were filming, and we were moving with the cars. It was incredible. So that day was particularly tough. But yeah, I'll let Rachel go as well.
For me, it was probably the beach scene. It's an amazing location, but it's logistically difficult to get to. But Akinola always has such high ambition that he wanted to go to the far beach, even though there was a near beach. So we went to the far, far beach, and we got there and it was, what, 45-degree heat? The waves were splashing in everyone's faces, the boys didn't love the water, and we just had to kind of be so flexible, didn't we, and really pull together and kind of rethink that scene. And I think that I mean, it's actually, for me, one of the most beautiful scenes in the film. So I feel you don't see the effort that went there, but you know, it was electrolytes and rehydration and the whole time, and Addy running up and down the beach, so yeah, but very glad we did go to the far beach.
Phenomenal. From what I understand, you've been writing this film for a very long time. You started writing this in 2012, 2015, thereabouts. I think that it's a bit of a layered question, but why this particular story? And what kept you going over such a long period of time? Because as storytellers, we know sometimes that you can feel like, must I continue? So please share why this, because it was particularly poignant to watch. So why this story?
So funny enough, this is the first, I guess, like script that I'd ever worked on. Initially it was a short film, and really it was just for me to send to my brother to see what he thought, you know. And he then came back and said, "Oh, I cried when I read the script," and you know, would I then help him with his own script, Lizard, which is then what we did next. So after Lizard, we decided to revisit the script. I think for me, it was an exploration into grief. I think that, you know, at the time when I lost my dad, I was 5 years old, and I don't think I really processed the grief. You know, so I think through the film, in some ways, it helped me process, it helped me question, it helped me challenge things that perhaps I had suppressed for a very long time. And yeah, and then also as well, understanding that my perspective of grief was different from my brother's perspective, and our perspective of our father, and what questions we had as young children at the time was also different. So also taking into account learning, because it's something we've never really, as siblings, and we have two other siblings as well, we've never really spoken about as siblings with each other. So it was actually interesting to hear his perspective, to hear his viewpoint, and to channel that into writing. He co-wrote it with me. He helped me write. I tend not to stay in one place for a very long time. So he helped me focus. He banned me from Instagram whilst we were writing. And yeah, just kept me on the straight and narrow. And thankfully, we have amazing partners, producer Rachel, and then also the BBC. There's a lady there called Eva Yates, who actually really helped me shape the film and the direction of the film with feedback, you know, and clarity. I've never made a film before, so having people who are experienced in filmmaking guide you on what perspective to tell the story from and how to tell the story was very helpful. So yeah, I don't know if that answered the question. But
Yeah, I think that answered the question. You guys think so? I think so. To the entire cast and crew, every single person that contributed in every single way to this project, like, we completely salute you. Congratulations, guys. You've done something brilliant. Again, a very big thank you to our sponsor, Glenlivet, for making tonight possible. At this point, I would like to invite our honorable guests, if you could come forward to also take a photograph. We're going to do like nice photos. But ladies and gentlemen, officially My Father's Shadow is out in cinemas this weekend. Please make sure everyone comes out to see it. Please a round of applause.
Whilst we wait for our honorable guests, I also think it's a film you should watch with your families, you know, potentially your fathers. I think we need to, there's so many people that, you know, have relationships with their fathers, in discovering, in writing the film and researching, people who have never seen their father show emotion, who have never been told they're loved by their fathers. We just see them as these hard men who go out and earn money for the family. And I think it's good to show them this film, to have this dialogue and start the dialogue. So please take your friends, family, fathers, mothers, sisters, brothers, and uncles. Tell everybody that the film is out. Thank you.
Okay.
And a pleasure for me to be here. I saw this movie in Cannes, and I was absolutely blown away. I mean, there's something very intrinsic about Nigeria, very great about Nigeria. It is the tradition, it is our history, it is our content. And it's so amazing to see that history and content being captured in this way. For me, growing up within that period, it is a reflection of, who I am as a person. Every single thing that you were able to capture is part of my growing up. And I know it will resonate with a lot of people in that way. Thank you very much for all the supporters that were able to make this movie, because I think this movie is not only an expression, but I think it's going to open up a new gateway for Nigeria. And as a federal government, we're going to do everything. I've spoken to a number of you, and we're going to do everything we can to ensure that we create the sort of enabling environment that will allow us to create this kind of content. Before now, it is the likes of you in the industry that have really grown the industry. Administration has come in far too late, and it is time for us, and we're working actively and very intentionally, ensuring that we put up not only the policy in place, but the infrastructure, and also, very important, the funding that is required for brilliant Nigerians to be able to use their history and their content and take complete ownership of it, because it is, like I said, part of who we are growing up. And as we continue to evolve, I think it's bigger and better days. We're doing a very strong handshake from the federal government, and moving forward, we will use this as an inspiration and as a sort of board to ensure that we really continue to be Nigerians. So who are we as Nigerians? We are Nigerians. Greatness runs through our vein. We are Nigerians. We're giants to reign. Thank you.
Hello.
All right, can we have you step forward a little bit so we can get these photos? Just step a little bit away from you. Golden. Come on, Godwin, that's right. Young Chief, looking good. Styling, another one. Another one. And just very quickly to wrap up, Akiola, would you like to say a couple of words just to...
Film, like Wale said, please tell your friends, tell your family. Please, it's really important that this film is supported in cinemas. We shout out to Film One for being our distributor here as well, and thanks to Film One for putting this all together. And again, thanks to you guys for coming out. Give yourselves a round of applause, and we'll see you at the after party.
Creating the movement and awareness for me. Thank
Can I be a people, welcome. It is still the premiere of My Father's Shadow, a movie about family, fatherhood, and all that happened in the year 1993. I have here with me one of the amazing actors in this story. And how are you doing, sir?
Thank you. My name is Harold Lijadu.
It's a pleasure to have you here, sir.
My pleasure.
Sir, as somebody that grew up, or rather that was an adult in the year 1993, what was 1993 like for you, sir?
What was what?
What was the year 1993 like for you as a grown adult?
The energy.
1993. The year 1993. What was it like for you? I mean, with the electoral crisis and everything.
Well, it was a disappointment. I mean, what we got at the end was not the high expectation of most people in Nigeria. I'm talking about the adults, both fathers, families, and all that, who had lived through many years of military rule, and were therefore looking forward to having a civilian government that they can claim that they are in charge. Okay, for an election that was adjudged freest and fairest, only for it to be annulled, definitely, it was a very disappointing thing.
Now, how does it feel like to see that scene and that experience replayed in this particular movie that you had to take an important role in?
Well, having to be part of a film that reenacts history, is unique. Not everybody gets to, play that kind of role, especially an event that drew global attention as June 12, because June 12 is still as relevant today as it was so many years back. So I feel elated that I'm part of this reenactment, so to speak, of history, so it's exciting for me.
Yeah, so speaking about your role, I love how it played out, because it was a balance between emotion, as a flashback for him and his wife, and there was this motion where you're talking about your wife. It felt really close to home. Now, how would you say that your role in that particular movie added extra vibe or extra creative scene to the story?
Like you said, it was an emotional scene, and these are part of the things that add to, what should I call it? The emotions of the people, because people love human angle stories, and death, mourning, and all that kind of emotional stuff is what people are drawn to, apart from love, story of love, people falling in love and all that. But when you talk about losing people, it's a very strong aspect of life, losing loved ones and all that. So, and because the song, you will recall that I sang a song in that song was by my own sisters. The Lijadu sisters were musicians, twin musicians, well known in the early 70s, late 60s, 70s, 80s, before they traveled abroad. If you anyone that Googles Lijadu sisters, will know that they held a place in history in Nigerian music. Okay. As a matter of fact, I suggested to the producers that because that song fits into the mournful moment of the film. Okay, so my sister sang that song, and so it was also emotional for me singing that song. Emotional because I had lost one of them. So you can imagine, me playing that role and singing that song. It really was deep for me.
It was such an interesting one.
Yeah.
Now finally, what message that people get to take out of this story?
What?
Message that people get to take out of the story.
The message.
What do you call it? June 12 will forever remain a message to the whole of Nigeria that never again should free citizens allow, a minority, to wield so much power that they will be the ones that will decide whether they have freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom to choose their own leaders. No matter how bad our leaders are as civilians, we must allow democracy to thrive and not allow military men or people who, because they wield arms and ammunition, to decide for us who will rule over us. For me, that is the main message, I think.
That's very good. Thank you, sir. Have an amazing one. You did an amazing job, by the way.
Pardon me?
I said you did an amazing job. I love your part. Thank you, sir. I've just seen my father's shadow. I have a lot to say, but first I have here with me the director and the co-writer for this story, My Father's Shadow, none other than Akinola Davis, the Junior, right?
Correct.
Junior. How are you feeling tonight?
I feel great. I'm really ecstatic. I think every reaction that we hoped for, I think we got with the audience. I'm interested to see what the rest of Nigeria thinks, but yeah, I'm really happy. My mom was here, loads of family were here, and the cast and crew are here, so it's been fantastic.
Yeah, we're also very happy. I love the story. I love how deep it goes to home. I love the emotional balance. Now, speaking about emotion, I'm sure that this happened back in 1993, and then now, how do you decide what part of the story gets to stay and what part gets to leave?
Sure, I mean, as we went through a very strenuous development stage where we were trying to figure out exactly that, what we fit in, and we tried to make something that was parallel between the boys and their father's experience and what was going on in the country's experience. So yeah, there's a lot of research, there's a lot of film watching, and then ultimately in the edit as well, we shot a bunch of stuff. Most things made it in, but we just had to make things a little bit shorter to just keep everyone focused on what we're trying to do.
Now, speaking on the 1993 part of the story, it has a political crisis or input to it. But we also know that the main part of the story is to show the emotion and the family bond that stays between the father and the children, the women that they get to spend together. Now, how would you say they're able to balance the political crisis and the emotional in-depth to make sure that it does not lose the value, the story's essence? Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, I think fundamentally the story is about the two boys spending the day with their father, and as a consequence of spending the day, things have to happen on that day, and because we set it within that political context, it allowed us to leverage what was media at the time. So there's a lot of newspapers, there's a lot of radio, and then we also use Nigerians just having conversation in communal places to help get the story through without trying to be too heavy about one thing or another. So yeah, there was a balance to strike, but again, it's just, I really owe it to the development team and us working through loads of ideas and challenging each other to get the best out of it.
That's very good. And finally, so I'm going to hand over the mic to you.
Okay.
You're going to tell us your name, your role in the story as director and the co-writer. And tell us why people should go and see it. What stands out for this story, in this story for you?
Sure. So yeah, my name is Akinola Davis Jr. I'm the director and co-writer of My Father's Shadow. It's out in cinemas on the 19th of September, or if you're watching it this weekend, it's already out in cinemas. And I encourage you to go and see it because I think it's a part of Nigerian history on a bigger sense. It's a part of our history that maybe we didn't get to mourn, a part of our history we didn't really get to talk about with each other. And I think fundamentally it's a family story, so please bring your family, bring your grandparents, and come and support this film.